Now begins the recitation of the revelation word of the divine Arik Master, Paramasaptana Adidar Samraj. This is the way of real Acausal God from the Dawn Horse Testament. The only by me revealed and given transcendental, inherently spiritual and self-evidently divine way of real God realization is neither evolutionary nor ego-fulfilling. Rather, that only by me revealed and given way is founded on the intuition or inherent motive of ecstasy or the impulse to really transcend the ego I. The only by me revealed and given radical reality way of the heart, or radical reality way of Adidam, is a matter of the easeful and heartfelt turning and thus and thereby the effortless surrender of body, emotion, mind and breath, and even all the conditions of experience to me, in and as my divinely avatarically born bodily human divine form and person, in every moment and under all circumstances. That practice of turning the psychophysical faculties to me, in and as my divinely avatarically born bodily human divine form and person, transcends all the experiential and evolutionary significance or content of even your most extraordinary sensations, perceptions, and conceptions. And those who are thus devoted to me transcend all sense of physical and mental or psychic separateness or of independent existence as an inherently separate and persistently separative ego I. When you are thus devotionally turned to me, you come to understand that you are not a soul born into the body-mind complex, inhering in the psychophysical conditions of your apparently separate existence, but rather, as my true devotee, you understand and ultimately most perfectly realize that you inhere or eternally abide as non-differentiated love bliss in the self-existing and self-radiant self-state or transcendental self-condition of spiritually self-bright divine being itself. Real Acausal God is not the creator. Real Acausal God is the liberator. Real Acausal God is not the way in. Real Acausal God is the way out. The way of real Acausal God is not the way of self-seeking, self-increase, and self-success. The way of real Acausal God is the way of devotional self-surrender, or the way of really transcending the ego I. Therefore, the only by me revealed and given radical reality of the heart, or radical reality of Adidam, is the great process of devotional self-surrender in real Acausal God, or reality itself, by means of ego surrendering, ego forgetting, and always intrinsically, priorly, and immediately ego transcending devotional communion with me. And, by means of this great process, the total psychophysical self of my devotee is surrendered into reality way of most ultimately inherent and inherently most perfect divine self-realization. The only by me revealed and given radical reality way of the heart, or radical reality way of Adidam, is the great process of transcending the objective or conditionally externalized point of view and the conditionally subjective or conditionally internalized point of view by means of my avatarically self-transmitted divine transcendental spiritual grace through ego surrendering, ego forgetting, and ego transcending devotional communion and self-identification with me, such that, most ultimately, by means of my avatarically self-transmitted divine transcendental spiritual grace, the apparent conditional body-mind complex and the apparent conditional world are viewed from and transcendently, egolessly, spiritually, and thus divinely self-recognized in and as the inherently perfect divine subject position, or the self-existing and self-radiant self-nature, self-condition, and self-state of self-evidently divine being itself, and the only by me revealed and given radical reality way of the heart, or radical reality way of Adidam, necessarily proceeds by stages of revelation and demonstration until the realization and the demonstration of the only by me revealed and given seventh stage of life. The heart itself was never created, nor is there ever any creature there. Therefore, the way that practices and at last most perfectly realizes and is the heart itself is the necessarily esoteric way that transcends the illusions of creature and creation by transcending the ego I. The one and only by me revealed and by me given radical reality way of the heart, or radical reality way of Adidam, is the esoteric true way of is, the transcendental spiritual way that, in the truly counter-egoic and more profoundly ego-transcending manner, practices and realizes at last most perfectly is the heart itself. Therefore, even from its beginnings, the only by me revealed and given radical reality way of the heart, or radical reality way of Adidam, is entirely free of ego-based, ego-serving, ego-affirming, ego-developing, and merely conventionally or exoterically religious or subject-object-based views and presumptions. The divine heart is one and only, therefore the one and only by me revealed and by me given esoteric radical reality way of the heart, or radical reality way of Adidam is, even from its beginnings, the always and immediately ego-transcending way of one, and not the way of self and other, or of any two at all. This is the way of real Acausal God, from the Dornhorst Testament. Here ends the recitation of the revelation word of the divine avataric master, Paramal Sapta Na Adidar Samraj.